What's up, guys? Back at it again with another build here. This time we're going to do the Barbarian build with the Leapquake, which you've probably seen at some point. Barbarians jumping around, leaving a pool of fire behind them as they do it, as they land. It's very fun build, very entertaining build, and probably the best build you're going to want to shoot for when you are playing the Barbarian. It's fairly gear dependent. And you got to farm up the right pieces, and we'll go over that here in just 1 second. And we're going to go over the skills now, and we're going to go over a lot of the different variations that you can go with. Probably a few alternatives that you may or may not go. It could also depend on your paragon level, how many points you're able to put into different areas to be able to make this happen. This is the build we're going to go with because this is where we're at. And it's been working really well for me, and hopefully it works well for you guys. And the build here, Hammer of the Ancients. You remember Hammer of the Ancients, it always does a lot of damage. You're going to use the Smash Rune, turn it into fire, and this is going to be your attack that you're going to use in between leaps. Your leap's on a cooldown, and you're going to be needing to do something. You can't just stand around and run in circles. You might be able to, depending on how you want to play. But in this case, we're going to do this build so that we have plenty of fury, and we're going to run with that in the meantime. Your main attack, leap with Call of Ariat Rune. And this does the shock waves, but more importantly, it pulls affected enemies towards you. And the reason that's important is because you're going to be doing this right here, and you certainly want to pull them into the fire. That's where your main damage is. So you're going to be running with that rune. That's going to be on a cooldown. You're going to want to try and pull that around as much as possible. Next skill, Warcry. And a lot of this, we're going to do this. It's going to, everything's going to work together. And this is the reason you're going to see some of these skills. You might see some different variations out there that have different things in different places. But for this one, you get the added defense, plus you get the Fury Builder. And I know some people like the Fury build, some people like going with something else. This is the one we're going with, and it's working pretty well. And I'll try and show you with a little bit of gameplay afterwards, so stick around and we'll show you this thing in action. This is going to increase the Fury generated to 50 as opposed to 20. Plus you're going to get the increased armor there. Always good to have a little bit of defense, and this can create some offense. Next up, Battle Rage with Marauder's Rage. Surely you've seen this. The rune increases the bonus damage to 15%, plus you get the crit hit damage, or the crit hit chance there, with an extra 3%. So this is strictly an all-offensive one there. Next up, Earthquake with Molten Fury. This is the one you're going to run with. This increases Earthquake's damage to 4,500 or 4,500% weapon damage as fire. So you're going to run this, you're going to smash it in there when you're doing everything, you're just going to melt things down. And it's pretty important there. Now the build that we're running with has Call of the Ancients, and we're running that because we've got 3 pieces of Might of the Earth, and we've got 3 pieces of Mortal Kings. Like I said, this build is fairly gear specific, mainly just the Might of the Earth set, which we'll go over here in a second with another item. We've got a really crappy Royal Ring of Grandeur that I got at level 51 and have not been able to farm a strength one since level 70, no matter how many times I've tried. So we're still going to use it because we're going to get the most beneficial items out of that with the Royal Ring. So we're running Call of the Ancients, and you're going to be really tempted to do all the damage you can. Now, all the damage you can doesn't necessarily mean picking all the most damaging skills. The Council Rises, you're going to get 360% weapon damage as fire with each attack. Now, that's, enticing, but you still have to attack while you're waiting for the leap to come up. Now, this is one way to help build a little extra fury. Now, this gives you an extra 3 fury every time an ancient deals damage, and they're going to be doing, you got 3 of them around, so they're going to be doing some damage. And so every time they hit, they're going to be building the fury up. So this is a good way to build fury up. Again, it's all going to come full circle as we put all this together. Like I said, there's going to be different variations. If you don't have the Immortal King set, you can certainly run with Wrath of the Berserker. There's a lot of different options you can go with, but in this case, this is the build that we've got here. Now, our passive skills, we've got this here. We're running with Animosity because this increases the Fury generation by 10% plus our max Fury by 20. And this is going to help quite a bit because, again, you're going to be using Hammer of the Ancients. You're going to be getting Fury back from, Leap. This generates 15 Fury. You're going to get Fury back there. And you're going to get Fury back from the Ancients dealing damage. So this is a good one to have. If you don't, have the Ancients there, or you need a little bit more toughness, go ahead and run with Nerves of Steel. That's a good one to run with, especially for higher torments. Next skill, Bloodthirst. Each point of fury spent heals you for 578 life. Since you're going to be hammering away with Hammer of the Ancients, that's the reason we have that. This is going to work really well with your life on hit plus this. So you're smashing away, smashing away, smashing away, and if you're spending 20 Fury there, you're getting some health back that way. And the heal amount is increased by 1% of your health globe healing bonus. So if you have a little bit extra there, I've got 46,000, so it helps quite a bit. So this is a good one to have around, especially depending on the gear that you have. Next up, Tough as Nails, increased armor by 25%. Strictly a defensive skill here to survive, because we are playing on Torment 4. And then the Thorns damage, so if you have any bit of Thorns damage on your gear, it's just a bonus right there. Last up, Unforgiving. This is, again, just a straight Fury builder so that we can do some damage. And so that's why that's there. Again, it's all going to come full circle. You can definitely run some more defensive skills. You can definitely run some things that are going to, maybe fit your Paragon level. And the reason we say that is because our Paragon level, we'll go over this here. I've got I think I've got 21% movement speed on my gear. So I'm going to cap that at 25% by supplementing there. Depending on where you're at, you could easily, max your Fury out, and that will help, your generation. You're going to start at a higher clip so that as you continue to use Hammer of the Ancients while you're waiting for your Fury to build up, you're not going to just hit 0, you'll drop halfway, and that way it kind of, it cycles down instead of just completely draining yourself right away. So we'll run that just for the sake of this video, and then you're going to throw some in strength. If you need some vitality, you could be like me and you might need a little bit, you can throw some in there. Next up, cooldown reduction. You're going to want to max this because your leap is on a cooldown. It's on a 10-second cooldown, so 10% there is now 9 seconds because it's going to take 1 second off. And the crit hit chance here, that's going to help because I needed the crit hit chance. I got some decent crit hit damage, so we're going to get that going. Defense, stack it in resist all. You're going to need the resist. We could run it in armor, but I'm doing okay with the passive, and my strength's high enough. So I'm throwing a little bit in life. I needed some more health to kind of bump that up. Utility-wise, and again, this is why I say, depending on your Paragon level, Hammer of the Ancients may or may not work for you, but if you're high enough, you can throw some into life on hit. I've got this maxed out. And then you can put the rest into resource cost reduction, and that's the way I'm going to do it, and that helps me, use Hammer of the Ancients a little bit more. I know some people, if they don't have the IK set, they run a Cinder Coat, and that also helps because it's going to reduce the cost of your skills there. That's another good way to go. This is the build that we're going to go with, and this is what I'm using, so we'll put it in action. Gear-wise, again, you're going to need the Might of the Earth set. You'll see cause an earthquake when you land after using Leap. That's the main focus there. I've got 3 pieces plus the Royal Ring of Grandeur, so that hits the 4 set there. And then, of course, I've got the IK set with the belt here, and that's going to be where I get my 4-piece and get the Call of the Ancients to stick around because they're not going to die. The other main item that you're going to need is the Lut Socks, and Leap can be cast again within 2 seconds before the cooldown begins. You'll see that there in the secondary. This is fairly important because if not, you're only going to want to jump once, or you're only going to jump once, and that's not any good. Items, there are a couple items out there that are going to do the increased fire damage. The Devastator doesn't normally do that much damage. I got a fairly decent roll. I got the max fire skill damage by 20%. I got a socket, I got strength. It allowed me to re-roll the actual damage on it to kind of boost that up a little bit because it wasn't that high. So we went ahead and rolled that. The other one, the Thunder Fury, I'm using this just because I get the extra damage there with the lightning as it goes through. Strong Arm Bracers, enemies hit by knockback, we're getting it suffering 30% more damage. Amulet, don't have the best amulet here, but this is getting us by. We got the increased fire skills, we got strength, we got crit hit chance and crit hit damage. Helmet, we're running with the socket here, and we've got the diamond in here because this is going to reduce the cooldown of all skills by 12%. So that's going to work together with the cooldown reduction that we have in our Paragon points, and this is multiplicative, not additive. So it's going to multiply as it increases. And right now we're sitting at about 27%. There are other items you can get cooldown reduction on, which I would highly advise grabbing those. I'm continuing to try and farm better Might of the Earth pieces. This one sucks. This sucks because I only have 1 socket, and the stats on it aren't that great. So we're continuing to try and farm these. Now that we found the boots, we're going to farm those up. So this is different areas. You can also get it on your weapons. Last but not least, we've got the Stone of Jordan here. I'm looking for one with some fire damage on it. It's hard enough finding one, but this has the increased damage against elites. We rolled some crit hit chance on there, and we got strength. So that's the gear. These are a couple items you might want to look for to increase the fire damage. We've got 52% increased fire damage here. Would love some more. Would love some more cooldown reduction. But this is part of the process. My damage isn't that high, but you're going to see on Torment 4 the increased fire damage and all that. It's going to work pretty well, and we'll show you how this works. Some of you guys are going to have a lot better gear than this, and you're going to show that, you know, hey, you can run this a little differently, and that's great. But if you're just gearing up and you're getting towards, you know, the end game and you're starting to get some pieces, this is definitely a way to go, and we'll go ahead and put that in action. So we'll run it here. We'll just run into Halls of Agony level 2. I'm not going to worry about the quest there, but you're going to see this. We'll go ahead and buff up. We got our Battle Rage, hit our War Cry, and we're at max Fury here. See, we're at 200 Fury, so you'll see this, and it's just going to kind of pull everything around, and they just kind of roll over and die. Our Ancients are over there kind of killing things, and we've got our cooldown reduction, so this is already kind of back around, and you'll see all this, and I'm not going to attack anymore. I'm just going to stand there, and as you can see, stuff just melts, and that's the fun of this build, and it's really fun to kind of run around with this. You know, it works on elites, it works on regular trash mobs. It's not just going to be one or the other, and as you run around here, you're going to see we've got this. We don't have, you know, our leap up yet, so there it is. And we just kind of run with Hammer the Ancients in the meantime, just kind of blasting things down. And the Ancients are also going to help do some damage. So as you can see, it's a pretty fun build, pretty good as far as doing damage goes. You can pretty much skip a lot of stuff that you kind of jump on, just kind of running past it, you know. And here's some elites. We'll go ahead and pop this. We got that. We popped Earthquake. That's going to melt them. We'll go ahead and buff up there. And they're dead. Got a little sidetracked looking at the ring here. We'll identify this while we're sitting here just so we can see what it is. And Bull Kathos, I guess they said, hey, you're a barb. Here's a Bull Kathos. But as you can see, this is the build, guys. It does a lot of damage. You saw the elites died pretty quickly. I don't have a lot of damage with my gear yet. I'm still working on building that up. But as you can see, it very easily took out the elites. It very easily takes out, you know, bosses and stuff like that. Trash mobs are a complete joke. You pull everything in there. This is the build you're going to want to look for. So hopefully this has helped you guys out, kind of helped you put your build together, and kind of give something to work towards. And again, you're going to want the Might of the Earth set. If you can get the IK set and you like that build, definitely look for that. Kadala is very generous with her set items now, almost too generous. So look out for that. It's one way to gear up now. Outside of that, guys, hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this gives you something to shoot for. As always, I definitely appreciate you guys watching. If you got any feedback, definitely leave it below. I look forward to reading all that, good and bad. The bad is always entertaining. So we'll go ahead and let's kill these guys off here real quick. And that's it. You'll see this build. There we go. So that's it. Again, thanks for watching, guys. If you want to subscribe, we're going to be doing more videos. There's going to be constantly videos coming out of every patch, every update that we're going to do. We're going to keep you guys up to date as far as what's working and what's not working. So appreciate you watching. As always, guys, happy hunting. See you next time. If you want to stick around, we're going to have some more gameplay, show this bad boy in action. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.
Beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. You better run, baby, revive you can. beat it.